is up, everybody? What is up? It is Tammy coming to you live today for a Sunday sermon, a little bit late. I say time is imaginary, so we are exactly on time. We had to get a quick catering order out today, and honestly, I came here to sit down and do the sermon. I had to center my energy, and then the internet just shat the bed, and it did not work. And I have worked until now to reboot it. So we're about 2 minutes before noon. So it's still Sunday morning sermon because we started in the morning. But we are going to be here close to the afternoon getting this rocking and rolling. I see that there's nobody joining us right now, but as you do join us today, we're going to make it's way more fun with friends. I have messaged the brand ambassadors, and I did do a few little posts, but you know, social media is kind of weird right now. But as you jump on here today, please tell us where you're watching from. Drop us a Grateful Fed in the comments. And again, say hi. This is way, way, way more fun with friends. I am live in a couple of places. I'm live on my personal page. I'm live in the Grateful Fed, and I'm also live on the TAMUnity YouTube channel. And today's topic for Sunday sermon is Sunday morning, redirecting our energy and making micro moves for change. And so if you are watching this live today, if you don't want to say hi, you can at least drop me a number 1. And if you're watching this on a replay, you watch this later on, the little live button is not over here. Like, I think it's right here somewhere, maybe the live button. So if you're not watching this live, you can always drop us a 2. If you're watching us right now, you're doing all the beautiful things. But if you are dropping in later on, drop a number 2 for watching on the replay, like watching it the second round, like a rerun. Hi, Norma Jean from Abilene. I have missed seeing you and speaking with you. I love you and I miss you. So come by and see me soon. But Norma Jean from Abilene is here. Tag a friend. Help us get some folks watching. But I always say that whether I reach 1 or 100, the universe, God, we don't yuck anybody's yum. We use whatever words we want to use. But God doesn't make any mistakes. So whether one person hears this message that's supposed to today or 100, it's exactly meant for who it's exactly meant to hear. But as we start jumping on today, you are going to say hello, drop me a Grateful Fed, tell me where you're watching from. But we're going to start today with a big, giant inhale. We're going to take a collective breath together. Today, we are going to do it's a good little sermon today. It's been 2 pages, and today, also the reason why I was concerned, it's a little bit longer today. It's about 5 pages long. It's going to last a minute. We are going to do a guided meditation today, just together today. Just an opportunity for us to kind of like center our energy, redirect our energy, and all of those things. So if you're joining me today and you're able to do so, get somewhere where you're a little bit comfortable. I was going to put my sweatshirt on, but it's going to be warmer than I thought. And as you know, it's Sunday. None of it. It's just I am just as barefaced and crazy looking hair. I washed it this morning and let it air dry. I had to put it up a minute ago, put a hat on to go in the kitchen and work this morning. I've been here since 8 a.m. getting that stuff done. And here I am now finishing this, making a plan for our for the week. And then I'm going home and I am just going to be for the next day or so. It's been a long couple of weeks. I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks since we've had a weekend. Like we worked 7 days for like 28, 30 days in a row. Corinne is stuck right there beside me. And Tabby's even in today on a Sunday. So the part-time girls have been great, but we need a little break. So we're taking tomorrow off. So as you jump on here today, find a place to get comfortable. What I want you to do is we say it's inhale the good shit, hold it, and then exhale the bullshit. Right? Just some big, deep breaths. And exhale and release all the things that are no longer serving you. I am going to also message one more group of folks to let them know that we're live today. I let them know it would help me to get the algorithm up if they could come over here and check us out. Sorry, I can't do 2 things in. If you can give me some likes, all those things, I would appreciate you. It's interesting because, you know, social media, you got to have the likes, the clicks, all that stuff to get seen. And I hope that this gets seen because I put a little work into this today, including writing the meditation. So I'm hoping that you will stick with me and follow along today. All right. So the reason that we took that big collective inhale, exhale, just to kind of get ourselves back into our bodies this morning is because, whew, y'all, this past week has done a number on not just my nervous system and my energy, but I feel how much it has affected not just my energy, but the energy field. I have felt so much energy swirling. Has anybody else going to get a yes, a hallelujah, amen, some thumbs up if you also have just felt like there's been an enormous amount of energy moved and it's just kind of swirling and it's very chaotic and it doesn't feel good right now. And we need to kind of center ourselves back in our energy and we kind of need to get our arms around it. Does anyone else feel that that kind of weirdness in the energy field? I feel like if you've been on social media at all this week, you have probably felt it. You have probably seen it in other people. The world, the country, everybody right now, I feel like is just, we're kind of losing our minds, right? If you can give me a hallelujah, amen, that's how I completely understand. Yeah, yep, I'm with you, girl. That would help me to have some little validation. If not, say no. Like, let's have a conversation, right? So people are losing their minds everywhere, right? We have had a lot of big things happen this plane crashes and just a lot of random, weird, crazy things happening everywhere. And it's been happening in the world and our communities and really right here at home. The stress, the frustration, the fear, and I'm not disputing any of that. Those things are all very real things, right? And we work to try to work for versus fear. But like I tell you all the time, right? Sometimes you have to feel the feeling. And this week, I think everyone has really felt the feelings. So today, the reason that I didn't give up and say, never mind, I took that time because my energy wasn't right, I guess, earlier. I was, I'm feeling a little crusty today, a little, and I had to get my energy centered. So, but today I really stuck into this because I want all of us to work together to shift our focus, right? That's what today's Sunday sermon is about. It's about coming together as a community, as a community, as a group of like-minded folks. And again, if you are joining us, please take a moment to say hello. Tell us where you're watching us from. Drop us a grateful fed in the comments. And then if you do catch this later and you're not seeing us live, right? Live's not right around here somewhere up at the top, then just drop us a hashtag #2 for the replay. So shifting our energy, because, if you're an OG and you've been around for a while, you've heard me say the saying, where your mind goes, your energy flows. So if we're all focused on the stress and the fear, it makes it even more real because we are locking in the frequency of that feeling. Does that make sense to everybody? Can I get a yes? So again, where your mind goes, if all of us are focusing on the stress, the frustration, the fear, we are not only seeing it and feeling it, we are also amplifying it because where our mind goes, our energy flows, and whether it's just the fear expands, right? So we are adding to the fire. So before we go into this new week, I want to talk about how we can redirect our energy into something meaningful, how we can move instead of just talk, and how we can be about it instead of just complaining about it. Because if you read my post this week, I kind of had a little post about this, and it was like one of my favorite little catch lines, I guess, is don't talk about it, be about it. Right? People talk a game. I have so many people who come in here and just tell me how to just do the weird thing now because it does. People talk a really good game, but then when it comes to being about it, they don't really want to walk the walk. They just want to talk the talk, right? And one of my other little things, Red said this to me one time. He's like, he was like, tell people how. I was like, look, I don't like to brag about stuff. I don't. I'll toot the horn when it's bragging on my team. But Red's like, you're the best. I'm like, I am just who I am. And he goes, hey, I said, I don't like to brag. Bragging is just weird. He's like, it's not bragging if you did it, right? So he's like, you don't just talk about it. You're very much about it. He said, so you should stand in that. And I have trouble kind of owning that sometimes. But I just want to say, you should, if you're going to talk about it, you need to be about it. If you're going to be in my energy field, you can't just talk a good game around me. You got to walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk. I'm going to put your foot to the fire. So don't come in here bragging about something or talking shit about something and not anticipate me calling you on it. Not in a bad way. Like, all right, let's do it. Like, I'm up for it. I'm a person of action. And that's what we're going to talk about, right? How to become people of action. And so today I'm going to talk about how we can be about it instead of just complaining about it, right? And at the end of today's message, we're going to do a guided meditation to help us recenter. Then we'll pull our weekly crystal affirmation card to set our intention for the week. So stick with me because we have to clear some space and make some room for some peace, right? That's the thing. Today's goal is to clear space and make room for peace. All right. That was the intro. Now we're going to get into the real meat and potatoes of today's sermon. And again, only Norma Jean has said hello to me. I'm hoping that if you're watching this, you're going to jump through and show. I'm only seeing these 2 comments. Can someone else just say hi so I can make sure that I'm seeing more comments? Because I'm not seeing comments right now at all. It's kind of clicking in and out. So this is just way more fun with friends. And I want to hear your feedback. So definitely chime in if you have something that you want to add to it. And as always, I am going to also do this. I'm going to copy, and then over here in the comments and all the places, you're going to see this before we get to the meats and potatoes of it. You are going to see StreamYard.com. If you click that, that brings you into the studio with me. And it allows you to be in the green room, and I can bring you on live with me. So if you'd like to join the conversation today and have something to say, I'll be glad to add you to the feed. When you first come in, you're just here in the green room. Nobody can see you but me. And then we can have a private conversation, and then offline on a little chat, and then I can bring you online. Hello. I can see other comments. That's great. But if you would like to come live with me, please make sure that you are just clicking on the StreamYard link, and I'll be glad to bring you on live. So, like I said, today we're going to clear some space and make room for peace. And we talk about, our mission here with the Grateful Fed, with pretty much everything I do. The goal is to help raise up the collective vibration of the world. And we're all part of the collective. And I believe that we do that by the power of one, right? So the power of one and the micro moves for big changes. That is today's topic for our Sunday sermon. So y'all, as Americans, we love to complain, right? We love that. It's in our DNA. I mean, it's almost a part of our DNA anyhow. Our TVs, we rant on social media, we argue in the comment sections, and you know what? That is so much wasted energy. It is just so much wasted energy. And I am not saying that I have not been guilty of it, because I have. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm pointing back at me. I am saying, as a collective, as Americans, we love to complain. We yell, we scream, we fuss, we fight, and all we do is waste our energy. It's just hot air. We're not helping the environment. We're just putting out hot air. We're not helping the community. We're just adding more fuel to the fire. Because complaining is not action. Complaining is not action. And that's what our Power of One mission is all about. We get overwhelmed thinking we have to fix everything at once. But the truth is, the biggest moves are made in silence. They start small. They start with one person, right? The power of one. With one person making one choice over and over again until changes start rolling in like waves. It starts with one person every single day, one person making one choice over and over and over again. It is the ability for us to go out and have a conversation, a connection with one other human being over and over. And it's not saying you just stop at one person and we're talking again. Every day we go out and double our numbers by one person over and over and over again. And, it's a very broad, or it's kind of like sounds very simplified. It's a simplified version of it, right? of going out and trying to be a change maker or difference maker by small little incremental acts. But I want you to think about history, right? Think about our history, just world history, history of mankind. The biggest revolutions, the biggest movements, they didn't start with massive crowds overnight. Not one single, not one of them, right? The biggest movements, they did not start with massive crowds overnight. They started in kitchens, the heart of the home, like my favorite place. They started in the kitchen, in church basements, in living rooms, in dens. It started at bus stops and between co-workers in quiet conversations. Think about that. The biggest revolutions, the biggest movements, they didn't start with massive crowds overnight. They started in kitchens, in church basements, and in quiet conversations. So what I want to ask you, where are you putting your energy right now? And then if you want to answer in the comments, I'd love to talk about it. But think about this. Where are you putting your energy right now? Are you feeding the negativity? Or are you building something better? And are you just talking, or are you taking action? Because let me be very clear. We are not powerless. We just need to stop looking for change in places where it's not going to come from. And I have struggled creating this week's Sunday sermon. And I don't know if I've struggled creating the sermon as much as I have struggled with the confidence to deliver the sermon. And I was like I said, this morning when I was running late, everything was kind of like hectic. I had to do a lot more than I wanted to this morning because I just don't feel good. I'm just being honest. Like the negativity and the energy spiraling in the world, poopy energy affects me physically. So when energy isn't right, it physically attacks me. So a lot of people out there they don't ever want to believe me when they're not ready to deal with their shit yet. But when you have people who have like a chronic illness that they keep going to the doctor for or something, or they keep getting sick, and I lived in that cycle of sick, right? It is your body's way of screaming at you that something's got to change. And whether that be from a physicality place or an emotional body or a physical body, a mental body, whatever. But a lot of times, disease is dis-ease, from the Latin dis-ease in your body. And it's very much tied to energy. And so a lot of what's going on in the world is also affecting people's physical body, right? They feel so over that their physical body starts actually taking the hit from what's going on with them emotionally, spiritually, all of that. Can I get a hallelujah, amen, if you understand that? If you can understand that, like depression, sadness, all these emotional things can then cause physical ailments in your body. That's why so many people who have a lot of mental health issues, if you look at like bipolar and schizophrenia and manic depression and anxiety disorder and all of those things, they're very much connected to physical body pain. Like a lot of those people stay very sickly and in bed and have a lot of like chronic illnesses. And y'all, I'm one of them. I believe wholeheartedly that autoimmune is unhealed karma in your body. And when you start working through healing the karma, you can heal the autoimmune. And I'm working through that personally. And I'm sharing my journey, right? I always try to share my journey. But we are not powerless. We just need to stop looking for changes in places that they're not going to come from. And now, whether these changes to change your world are governmental based, justice based, you know what I mean? Like whether you're like a community or a governmental or a political activist or not, like the things that I'm talking about is also about what's happening in your life, right? If you're in a shitty job, a shitty relationship, feeling bad, not taking care of yourself, unhappy, when you stop looking for change in places it's not going to come from, you start seeing changes. And when you start taking ownership of it, right? When you just complain about not feeling well, then you're part of the not feeling well. And this conversation is going to move into more of a where we're at with the pulse on the planet right now, right, in the world. Like, I'm very socially active, community minded, those kind of things. And I know that the reason that I'm personally feeling bad is because those things are not settled, and I'm allowing that to pour into me versus me pouring out into it and making that better. It's making me worse right now. And I know a lot of you are feeling that way, and that's why today's sermon was so important. So the next little section here is releasing what we cannot control and protecting our energy, right? So the first thing is where we have to recognize, right? Where are we putting our energy? Are you negative? Are you building something better? Are you talking? Are you taking action, right? We're going to figure out where we're at with things. We're going to understand we're not powerless. We just got to stop looking for it where it's not going to come from. And now we need to release what we cannot control and protect our own energy. Because I want to address something, I want to take a moment to address something. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of "I told you so's" floating around, right? People out here, saying, look at what's happening. I knew this would happen. I told you so. And I mean, so many of us want in fights in the world and the war and all that, it's because somebody wants to be more right. And if you look at the Upper Limit, it's The Big Leap by Gay Hendrickson. It's a book I've talked about. I read it. It's a great book. It's about how we self-sabotage a lot of times and we upper limit ourselves. And so right now you have a lot of people doing that, right? I knew this would happen. I told you so. Look at what's happening. Blah, 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 blah. I was right. You were wrong. And I hear you, right? I hear you. But here's my response to that. And I hope it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings, right? So what? So what, you're right. We're still arguing, right? So what that I'm right, or you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong? So what? So what? And this is, this is where I'm going to say this, okay? The "I told you so's," that I knew this would happen, the "how can you support this," right? The people who voted the way that they did, and I don't care if you're watching me or not, and I'm going to stand on this with both feet and my whole chest. And if you click out of here right now, like, I'm never talking to you again, whatever. This is the piece that I was a little nervous about delivering, but I have to say it with my feet planted firmly and my whole chest with a little bass in my throat. And this is how I believe. And if I'm going to operate from knowing, doing, and saying all, being with an integrity, this is that section. And then we're going to go into a little guided meditation to good morning. We're going to do a little guided meditation, and we're going to set some intentions. And then we're going to pull our affirmation card, and then we're going to be done for the day, right? But the people who voted the way that they did, they knew what they were voting for. They're getting exactly what they asked for. So what good does it do to care about it to them? I think that what I'm seeing is that you guys are way more surprised by the people who voted, and that they're defending it still. I knew when they voted that way and when they supported, that's exactly where they stood from day one, right? I knew that. What can we do about that, right? What can you do when you just feel all your energy spiraling? What you can control, because, and I don't even know how long the internet is going to let me stay on talking what I talk, because I don't know anymore, right? But that's why we have those conversations in church basements and in quiet conversations and in living rooms and in kitchens, because they can't stop that part, right? They can't get involved in that part. I mean, they can, but then we'll roll with it. But what we can control, how we respond, the spaces that we create, and who we exchange energy with. That easy. What you can control in this environment is how you respond, the spaces that you create, and who you exchange energy with. And for me, that means I'm a safe space. I'm a safe person. So what I wrote was, and for me, that means being a safe person and creating safe spaces for all people, no matter their race, their gender, their sexual orientation, creed, or ethnicity. Because at the end of the day, that is the energy that I choose to walk in. It does not mean my head is buried in the sand, right? But I refuse to let the chaos of the world steal my peace. And I encourage you to do the same. Protect your energy, Pour into spaces where the change is actually possible. Stop screaming on social media and start moving in silence towards real solutions. If you don't want to see what is happening in the world, nothing is going to be changed or altered, or nobody's going to change their mind because you attack them and troll their social media post. Because you ask your Uncle Bob or whoever the hell it is that voted the way they voted, and who you want to make them answer for the Project 25 stuff that we see happening. They knew it was going to happen before they cast their ballot. They just didn't want to have that fight with you before the election. Now what you understand is, do you exchange energy with that person? Because you're not going to change their mind. Not by screaming at them and telling them they're stupid and they're wrong. That's trying to be more right. We've talked about this for the last sermons that I've done. The way that you change that, the way that you change the world is by you living that integrity. You don't stoop to their level. You don't have to call them out on it. You just choose not to exchange it. People have tried to get me in a tizzy, and I was like, I refuse to be antagonized into this debate. My integrity does not allow me to have this conversation with you because we do not agree. If you would like to sit at the kitchen table with me and have a conversation because you say we versus you, I was like, last I checked, we're all Americans. And if there's an opportunity for them to say, like, oh, we did this and y'all did this, then nobody won. There's no winner in that situation. There's zero winners when it is us versus them, right? There's no I in teamwork. There's no, you know what I'm saying? That you do not need to have, it's not a sports team. It is our livelihood, it is our future. So anyone that starts this with like, I guess y'all, I'm like, who's y'all? Last I checked, we're all Americans. There's no y'all and us and them. We're all one country. We're all united as one. And we don't agree with some of the things that are being done in the upper echelon. It's not my job to yell at my uncle who didn't vote the way that, or my dad or whoever. My job is to walk and live in integrity and to be the kind of person that I want to see mimicked in this world. And to walk in that integrity without calling names, without doing that, and protecting my peace. And I believe that if all of us who believe in good, solid, protecting our peace, being good human beings, creating those safe spaces, started doing that, and we started having these silent moves and these conversations, and we started effecting change, because that's how you affect it, right? I told you God spoke to me as clear as I'm speaking to you when he said, look down that day that those plants were, that I'd planted those plants, and I was so upset that they weren't growing up. And God said to me, it is not my job to worry about everything else. My job is to be able to be the light in the water, to plant the seed of love, and to be and live my life in a way that is pleasing, to be the water and the sunlight to make that grow, those seeds grow. And we were coming together, and the world was looking great. And I'm not gonna like be silent and not let injustices happen. And I would step in front and try to do my best. But yelling on social media and just being negative about it is doing nothing for the good of the world. Not a thing at all. I refuse to let the chaos of the world steal my peace. I encourage you to do the same. Protect your energy. Pour into spaces where change is actually possible. Let's stop screaming on social media and start moving in silence towards real solutions. That's the message that I have been so scared to give, and that my internet messed up. Now, we're going to do a little guided meditation to get our energies all settled down and great. So I am going to ask you, I'm going to take my picture off because I get distracted in trying to channel in the guided meditation. I've got it, outline of this, but I want to be able to pull my energy and really send some healing energy out your way. So this is a free kind of Reiki healing. I'm going to, because I have a level 2, I can send some energy out through the universe. If you would like the healing and the love energy that I'm going to send out while I'm doing this meditation, I would love for you to accept it. I accept the healing and I accept the energy, because there's got to be an exchange. I can't force heal you. Right? So if you're watching this, I'm not sending anything out to you that you don't want, because if you don't want it, you don't need it, you don't get it. But we are going to do a little guided meditation. on reclaiming our energy and setting expectations. Okay. So before we pull our crystal affirmation card for the week, let's take a moment to reset. Wherever you are, find a comfortable position. If you're able to, close your eyes if you feel safe doing so, and start just kind of settling into your space. Okay. I am going to take some things off the screen. You're going to hear my voice, but not see my face. Okay. I'm going to do this right here, right? See a comment here. Oh, it's okay, Heather. You can watch. It's a big one there. We're getting ready to start a guided meditation. I'm going to give you the last little blurb. I don't know what time you came in, but we talked today about protecting our energy and becoming people of action. And I said that I refuse to let the chaos of the world steal my peace. And I encourage you to do the same. Protect your energy, pour into spaces where change is actually possible. Let's stop screaming on social media and start moving in silence towards real solutions. And I'm so very glad that Heather's here. I've missed her face. I'd love to have we have a phone date. We do a Zoom this week, maybe, everybody. Okay. So I'm going to take my face off of here because, I don't always love to see my face. Okay, can y'all still hear me? Right. Do not pay attention to the graphic. It's just the old hearts. I just love that kind of like ding, 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 right? So we're going to inhale. Okay, good. Okay, so find a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you feel safe doing so, and let's take a big, deep breath together, right? In through our nose, out through our mouth. Inhale. Hold. And slowly exhale. Let's take another one of those big cleansing inhale breaths. Inhale the good stuff right through your nose. Hold that. Then a big sigh as you exhale that energy. You'll just like it out, right? One more time. Let's again inhale peace. Hold it. Now exhale stress. Now, as you continue to take big, deep cleansing breaths, settle into whatever breathing pattern fits you. As you take those big, deep inhales and the exhales come after, release the stress in your shoulders, release the tension in your jaw. Relax all of the muscles in your face, allowing any tension, stress, and negativity to leave your body on each exhale. Take a few more of these cleansing deep breaths together as we exhale and inhale. Inhale the good stuff and exhale the bad stuff, as well as releasing any tension from our body that is no longer serving us. Now, I want you to picture all the noise, the negativity, the frustration you've been carrying. Maybe all that weight feels heavy on your chest. Maybe it's weighing on your mind. But I want you to see it. I want you to acknowledge it. And now, with a big inhale, on the exhale, release it. Let it go. It may take a couple of breaths to get all of it out. We're going to take 3 big ones. If you need to scream it out, scream it out. Now let's take one more big inhale and exhale together and release all of that weight, all of that negativity, all of that manifested stress. We're going to make some room for our light and for our peace. Now, as you settle back into your breathing pattern, I want you to shift your focus. Picture your own light, that divine spark inside of you. That is where your power lies. This is the space where your actions matter. Breathe into that power. On every inhale, let that expand. Let that light fill you. Let that peace settle you. Because this is what we control. We control our energy. Say it with me out loud. I control my energy. We control our focus. Say it with me. I control my focus. Deep breath in. We control our response. Say it with me. I control how I respond. One more time. Say it either inside internally or out loud. The more energy and the more intent you put with this, the more the universe will recognize it and believe it. I control my energy. I control my focus. I control how I respond. And when we direct with that intention, we direct that energy with this intention, we become unstoppable. Take one more deep breath with a large exhale. And I want this to be your mantra for the week. I control my energy, my focus, and how I respond. When I direct my energy with this intention, I become unstoppable. When I direct my energy with intention, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Now, as we move forward into this new week, our energy is protected. Our energy is grounded. Our energy field is clear of all the negativity, of all the complaining, of all the things that no longer serve us. And we will walk into this week directing our energy with intention so that we may become unstoppable and be change makers. Another deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Out through your mouth. One more deep breath. And slowly bring yourself back into the room where you are. Feeling the air on your skin. Feeling the power of being able to now direct your energy with intention and enter the week unstoppable. I appreciate you for joining this meditation with me. I hope that is helping some folks to help you to direct your energy. Now, like I said, as we move forward to this new week, we're going to take our energy, our grounded energy, and we're going to do it with intention, and we're going to be change makers in the world, right? Now, we're going to pull our crystal affirmation cards. I'm going to go to the comments. Did that help? Anybody able to release that, get rid of that, all of that kind of good stuff? So again, as we always end our week, we're going to pull our crystal affirmation cards. It's like I love any Sunday service crystal affirmation card. It sets our collective intention for the week, right? Maybe if you can't set an intention for your energy, this might be the response to that. You may get the tools needed to do that. This is last week's card, but I'm going to get them shuffled up, right? So we're going to see what message Spirit has for us today. So I need to just kind of just called my energy, and it's all centered and grounded. And I'm asking my angels, my guides, and my helpers to come in and to make me a clear and perfect channel for the card that I'm about to pull for the group for the week. All right. Ooh. All right, that just jumped out and fell on the floor, so I feel like that might be our card. And it is Iolite. Shift your money mindset. Right? Shift your money mindset. And I'm not sure if that's the card. Let's see. This is my card. Okay. All right. So our crystal card for the week, two popped out. One of them I felt was for me. The other one was for the group, I believe. I think, let me see these here. Iolite, Argonite, and Iolite. Give me just 1 second. I'm seeing if the girls are back and they're locked out. Let me just double check. They have their keys, so they're getting in the door. So all is well. So let's go ahead and read Iolite because it came out first, and then we're going to go to Argonite. Okay, so the first card is the Iolite. It's a shift your money mindset. And I said it was for me, but I felt like they're like, you need to read it because you need to hear it, but somebody else does too. So shift your money mindset. Money might make the world go round, but it shouldn't have you running in circles. It's important to view your cup as half full instead of half empty to maintain a healthy perspective. When you shift your attention from what you don't have to appreciating what you do, you attract more of what you desire into your life. Embrace a feeling of enoughness and know that whether or not you have everything you want, you definitely have everything you need. Bringing more awareness to your internal state and challenge yourself to express and what you have right now. Instead of chasing money and material items, chase happiness and satisfaction with your life as it is currently. You will soon see that your cup runneth over. And I understand now that's for everybody, right? That's not just for me. I'm going to read this a little more smoothly. I felt very choppy with that. I want to make sure everybody understands me. And sometimes my mouth just doesn't want to work. And today is one of those days where I feel very mush mouth. And so I apologize for that. Money might make the world go round, but it shouldn't have you running in circles. It's important to view your cup as half full instead of half empty to maintain a healthy perspective. When you shift your attention from what you don't have to appreciating what you do, you attract more of what you want into your life. Embrace a feeling of enoughness and know that whether or not you have everything you want, you definitely have everything you need. Bring more awareness to your internal state and challenge yourself to express gratitude for where you are and what you have right now. Instead of chasing money and material items, chase happiness and satisfaction with your life as it is currently. You will soon see that your cup runneth over. Core questions. Are you a conscious spender? Do you buy what you want or what you need? What would make you content with your financial situation? So you might want to journal through money if that's something that's maybe got your energy out of whack, because not everybody is out of whack about the same things. I just know that energy is really out of whack right now. So those are the core questions. Those are great places to start to get into your journal. And when you're talking about becoming a change maker and a person of action, journaling is going to be the very first place, because you get all of that complaining out, all of those things that are swirling, get it on paper and you read it. You just need to get it out of your head. It doesn't have to be on social media. And so many people tell me, I don't journal. I don't write. I don't do that. You do. I'm bullshit, right? Because I watch you. I journal on Facebook as well. I write diatribes out, but I journal everywhere. I have a notebook at home. I have my book bag at home, got all my notebooks in it. And I mean, that thing's like 70 pounds. It's probably got 30 notebooks in it. Get that out of your head. Look at your issues with money. If that's the thing that's got your energy out of whack and upside down, stop complaining. Start doing something about it. And that's why sources like that card is for you, but not just for you. So that's a good one. So those are good journal prompts. And I don't know if Heather, she's been doing it for us, just copying and putting in the crystal affirmation cards into the Hometown Hippie page. I do appreciate her for doing that. And the affirmation for this week for the Iolite card is, I live in a state of abundance. Today, express appreciation for all that you have. And one of the ways to kind of keep your energy locked is that affirmation about how I control my energy, I control my focus, I control how I respond, and I'm going to go into the week unstoppable. That is an affirmation. If you look in the mirror every day and say that 3 or 4 times, you will start walking the walk. Same with these other affirmations. All right, Argonite. Release your emotional baggage. Argonite. Release your emotional baggage. All right. I'm trying to. Argonite. Here we go. I'm trying to do my alphabet. I'm like A, B, C. Like, where's P before R? Because it's like Applite. I was like, where am I at? All right. Argonite. And I have a piece of that sitting in there somewhere. I have it back here. If y'all can see, I moved my whole altar to back here, my crystal altar. It was up there, but I moved it behind me. And I have all my feathers and all my things back here. So Argonite, release your emotional baggage. It's time to lighten the load. Give yourself permission to acknowledge, process, and release any emotions that no longer serve you. This was the one. Emotional baggage can manifest in different ways: shame, disappointment, anger, guilt, and resentment. This is all part of the human nature. But while these emotions may serve as protective barriers, eventually they become heavy burdens that our spirits need to shed. Acknowledge and redirect these feelings in a healthier, more positive way. You alone have the power to pack away these emotions in order to move forward, unhindered and unencumbered. Right? You are not powerless. Right? You are not powerless. What was it I said? Pour your energy. I'm going to find my words. Into I refuse to let the chaos of the world steal my peace. And I encourage you to do the same. Protect your energy. Pour into spaces where change is actually possible. Stop screaming and start moving in silence towards real solutions, right? I feel like this is kind of saying that. So your core questions to journal through this today: what negative emotions keep popping up for you that you've been ignoring? Like, address the things that are popping up for you and get it out on paper. How would you feel to stop carrying that? How would it feel to not have that weight? How would it feel to not have to yell and scream and bitch and moan and gripe and complain all the time? How great would that feel? This is for you. This is not to say I'm putting my head in the sand and ignoring my Uncle Bob who voted some crazy way, or I'm going to put my hand in the sand. It's saying that releasing this and getting this done and not having to do it anymore, it is for you. It is to protect your peace. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is just saying, I am not going to hold on to this. I've got to lay this weight down. It is making you sick. It is making you just miserable, and you don't want that to happen. All right. How would it feel like when you really get into your journal and write down how it would feel to stop carrying that weight, and then what's stopping you from letting it go? I'm going to answer the third one, because no matter where you're at from it, the answer to number 3, if you're still arguing with yourself in your journal about how you have to, anyone want to guess what the answer, what is stopping you from letting it go? Anybody want to guess what that is? You see my people running behind the mirror here, class here. Anybody want to guess before I just say the word? I bet Heather knows. I bet Heather knows what it is. Ego, right? Ego. A lot of us need to go through that egoic death to be able to move unencumbered through this world. And if we can help you with that, let us know, right? So here's your affirmation for the Argonite this week. I am light and free. Today, when a negative emotion surfaces, examine it, consider where the emotion comes from, and gently let it go without passing judgment on yourself. Ego. See, I knew Heather would get it. Ego. Let go of my ego. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it just made me chuckle. All right, so as we step into this new week, remember, you control where your energy goes. Redirect it into something that feeds you rather than something that depletes you, right? Norma Jean says, oh, thank you so much for the group meditation. I'm so glad I slept late. I feel much better now that I've redirected. There you go. I'm glad that you came in and saw this today and you commented and all that good stuff. Remember this week that micro moves matter. Small, consistent actions change everything. Move in love. Do not move in fear. The world needs more kindness, more intention, and more safe spaces. And I want to say this when I say safe spaces, because I get people all the time, like the comments I get, like to me are, oh, you, you sheep need your safe space so you don't get triggered. I was like, no. I'm like, it's not about needing a safe space where you get triggered. I create a safe space. What I say for that is that somebody can come in here and not have to deal with the nonsense, right? It's not about like I'm gonna, like you're too fragile to handle the world. What I'm saying is that when the world gets to be too much, it's okay to come in here and to let down your guard, to drop your shoulders, to release your jaw, and to feel like you are in a place with like-minded people. I'm going to tell you that if you think the world's safe space is not a safe space, you're probably not going to think of this as a safe space. It is. You're welcome. You're welcome to be here in kindness and be here in love. But, most of the time the protections around the building don't allow jackasses to come in anyhow. But it just says, I don't interact with bad energy, and I have a protection around my building so the bad energy doesn't enter. And unfortunately, I've lost a lot of customers because I've been sitting here. I said, the door's been kind of dry lately. We've had people walking in, and I was like, oh, I know why, because I put barriers up, and if people are they're coming here and act foolish, then we're not going to have them in here. So the people that come in here definitely feed my soul, and I feed theirs. But regardless, right? Micro moves matter. Small, consistent actions change everything. Move in love. Do not move in fear. The world needs more kindness, more intentions, and more safe spaces. Let's take one more last deep breath together just to reset. There's a big, deep breath to get together, right? Thanks, y'all, for tuning in today. I know that I was late going live. I know that it's a little longer than it has been. I'm trying to stay under an hour as always. The last couple of weeks have been like 35, 40 minutes. And they're just going to kind of go as long as they go. As always, I am in the process of writing a book. And a lot of these little Sunday sermons are the beginning of the chapter. And there's like a little brief blurb about this in regards to the chapter you're in. And it's coming along. I have really been MIA from the world for a while, and the cookbook has pushed me back into needing to knowing, right, that I can't hide away. I I can control how I respond. And my response over the last few months has been to put my head in the sand and to hide, because I didn't have the capacity to be anything other than that. But I had to protect my peace. And for me to do that, and for me to go internal and protect my peace, is allowing me to create those boundaries right now. And I didn't recognize it when I was going through it, but the universe makes no mistake. Even whenever you think the universe is plucking you off the edge of a cliff and you're just going to fall into oblivion and fall to your death, there's always a hand. God's always going to catch you. You may not like the fall, but I promise you there's something bigger behind it. And for me, I was really struggling and really had to reset my nervous system. And I think that's why I'm able to maneuver in this energy right now, is because I protected my peace at all costs. And I'm going to continue to do that. And if that means people are mad at me for boundaries, so be it. So be it, and so it is. I know what my capacity is. And for me to be able to be within my integrity, to give you what I need to give you as a human, if you're interacting with me, to be able to give you that space and to hold it for you and to be the person that I want to be and the person that I know that I am with an integrity, I have to do what I have to do to protect my peace. And you need to understand that you deserve that as well. You deserve to be your whole authentic self. And if that requires you to protect your peace in whatever way that looks like, then I'm going to encourage you to do that. So again, I love you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, we're going to, let me see what the people said first real quick. We got 4 minutes. Thanks. We've all been a little MIA. It's been a huge learning curve for so many. The world is changing. There's no fail, just a learning up. Exactly. Right. It's just a shift in energy, and we are just going with the flow, and we're going to stay in flow. We're going to hold everybody in love and light. And the way that I can hold you all and hold space is by doing those things I talked about. Not allowing the world to get inside, but for me to be able to affect change in the world. And I hope that each and every one of you can come to a place with your energy, come to a place with your inner, your human consciousness, your being, to be able to figure out what that looks like for you. And I am not dictating that what it looks like for me is how it looks for you. But I'm going to encourage you to at least examine what it looks, at least just decide and design what your piece looks like. Because if you don't even create that part of it, how do you know when you've achieved it, right? So all of that to say, I appreciate you. I love you. Micro moves matter. Move in love, not in fear. And as we always end these lives, we're going to continue down that pattern. We're going to do so with a little peace, with a little love, and a little feast, y'all. As always, stay elevated and stay grateful. I love you, and I'll see you next Sunday.